Welcome to 60-Second Reset. I was recently in a conversation where I felt like I had a pretty good handle on the conversation, the topic. I felt like I was knowledgeable and maybe had some wisdom to pass on to the group. But there was another individual that felt the same. They felt like they had some knowledge and some wisdom, but they had a different perspective. And so as the conversation developed, the energy increased, the tones increased. It really got out of control. As I did my 60-second reset and reflecting on that, what I realized that I was intrinsically, automatically defending my position. And I was looking at this other person as the opponent. When we think about that, isn't that crazy that this other person would be my opponent because they didn't agree with me? Have you found yourself in similar situation? Have you witnessed, I'm thinking that you all have witnessed similar situations where we see things escalating and we don't know how to de-escalate. I recognized at that moment that I was not being a peacemaker. Jesus says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God." If there was ever a time globally in our nation that we needed peacemakers, it's today. It's now. And it's time that we shine. Our 60-second reset word for this week is empathy. Empathy is the first step in being a peacemaker. It creates a pathway for reconciliation in any situation. Empathy de-escalates. It's a de-escalating skill. It's a countermeasure. It's our natural response is sympathy, which really creates a disconnect. It has to do with our emotional IQ, so we can learn that. But empathy is a very difficult emotion to express because it requires that we are in contact, that we connect with our own personal emotions. But it does create connection. Empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy creates disconnection. Teresa Wiseman offers 4 attributes to empathy. She says the first step is being able to see or have the same perspective as the other person sees it, that situation. She also says, in other words, we can put ourselves in their shoes. She says number 2 is staying out of the judgment zone, which we typically automatically jump into that judgment zone. Number 3, she says, understanding the other person's feelings. And this is what makes it hard for us because we often are not in contact with our own feelings. And then being able to communicate the feelings of the other to them in the conversation. I agree with Brene Brown. She says, simply put, empathy is feeling with the other person. And empathy is a choice. It's a hard choice because we have to connect with ourselves first. It's really about us. Empathy is not about trying to make the other person feel better. That's often what we do with sympathy. That's not empathy. Empathy is embracing the emotions with the other person. There are several empathy blockers. One of those is avoiding. Sometimes we just avoid the conversation and we back out. Or we try to fix it. There are several others. We try to fix it. And these sympathetic responses seldom fix the problems. The pathway of the peacemaker is empathy, which enables connection, which creates a pathway for solutions. I welcome your comments, conversation. Please contact me at gjones@greenvilleoaks.org. Love to hear from you.